die.
Like my liver's fully covered, so they've deemed me inoperable, incurable, palliative, terminally ill.
I knew I didn't want to go through chemo again.
It had already spread to my liver and my lungs. So now I was terminal.
With that news, it was kind of shocking. Without treatment, I think I have about a couple months to live.
The thing that we're trying to emphasize is that if you do metabolic therapy the correct way, you can not only manage the disorder, but you can also correct and fix many other problems that some cancer patients might have, like diabetes, high blood pressure, hypertension. So you actually get healthier as you're degrading your tumor.
It's down now to 0.05, which is almost nothing.
So here I am about 15 months, 18 months later, and I am doing really well.
I did that for 2020. In December 2020, I was cancer-free.
My wife had a stage 4 cancer diagnosis, and she used metabolic therapies. 1 year later, she was cancer-free.
And I'm not saying we throw out all chemo, because obviously you folks have done really well with chemo. What we're finding with fasting and part metabolic, part chemo, what we're finding is that dosages of chemo can be lowered significantly and still have powerful therapeutic efficacy. If you want to live and you want to get healthy, you do metabolic therapy. Now, that doesn't mean you don't do radiation and chemo. It would change the entire system, but they will not allow that to be done.
Know anyone that's been touched by cancer? If you're worried about cancer, please share this video. Please share Professor Seyfried's work. Please share Brad's documentary, cancerevolution.film. For anyone that's touched by cancer, it's a travesty, it's a tragedy, it is criminal that this information is not given to them just as an option, just as an additional tool in their toolbox of ways to treat their cancer. Hello and welcome to our roundtable discussion on cancer as a metabolic disease. I'm Kerry, and with us today is Professor Seyfried, along with a group of remarkable individuals, Diane, Jeff, Ronnie, and Brad, who have personal stories to share related to battling cancer with various regimens. And Brad, along with his wife, are producing an amazing series on cancer at cancerevolution.film. I highly recommend it. And he's worked with many individuals and experts himself. So my goal for today is to deepen our understanding of cancer and treatments, guided by Professor Seyfried's expertise and the firsthand experiences of Diane, Jeff, Ronnie, and Brad. So I'd love to start with Professor Seyfried, and then we can meet the other individuals and hear their stories, followed by some roundtable Q&A open discussion. Professor Seyfried, would you please share a bit of your background with our audience? And could you talk about cancer as a metabolic disease and what that means?
Thank you very much, Kerry. Yeah, well, right now I'm sitting in my office at Boston College. I teach a class on cancer metabolism, and I teach a general biology class to the non-majors. But I spend a lot of time telling them about energy metabolism. It's an area that is not well covered in many biology classes. I mean, it's very briefly covered, but to get into the depths, it's been kind of overlooked unless you're a biochemistry major in the biochemistry department. So I teach that, and we've published many papers on cancer, targeting cancer metabolism. We've been working on trying to figure out what Warburg was doing for more than 20 years now, almost a quarter of a century. And investigating, doing a very deep dive into what he said, what he found, and the controversies and the difficulties associated with trying to interpret what Warburg had done. At first,